Imagine this, a dusty, leather-bound journal, locked away for decades in a forgotten Viennese gym, is cracked open during a documentary shoot about bodybuilding's gritty golden age. Its yellowed pages drop a bombshell that could shatter one of the world's biggest icons, Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Terminator, the Governor, the global symbol of the American dream, allegedly built his empire on a sinister deal. As a hungry young bodybuilder, he traded secrets about mob-connected rivals for a US visa, Hollywood connections, and a clear path to stardom. This isn't just a wild theory, it's a scandal with whispers of betrayal, broken careers, and even a suicide tied to his rise. Now, with a journalist missing and Arnold unraveling on live TV, the world's asking, how dark is the truth behind Iron Arnie? Buckle up for a tale of ambition, deception, and a mystery that's gripping the internet like a vice. It's spring 2025, and a documentary crew is knee-deep in the 1970s bodybuilding scene, chasing stories of sweat-soaked gyms, steroid scandals, and larger-than-life personalities. They're sifting through faded photos, grainy VHS tapes, and interviews with grizzled veterans when they stumble on a game-changer, the personal diaries of Hans Mueller, a chain-smoking Austrian trainer who shaped a teenage Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mueller, dead since the 90s, left behind a battered trunk in a Vienna gym's basement, untouched until a curious janitor tipped off the crew. Expecting workout logs or protein shake recipes, they find something else, page after page of confessions that read like a Cold War spy novel. Mueller claims Arnold, barely 20, was courted by Austrian political operatives with ties to US intelligence. The offer was simple but brutal: dish dirt on bodybuilding's criminal underbelly, competitors linked to drug trafficking, illegal betting, and mob money, and get a golden ticket to America, complete with Hollywood's red carpet. The diaries paint a vivid picture. Mueller describes clandestine meetings in dimly lit Vienna taverns, where a young Arnold, all muscle and ambition, allegedly named names, bodybuilders smuggling cocaine, rigging contests, or washing cash for organized crime. In exchange, his US visa was greenlit in record time, and powerful allies, agents, producers, even politicians, paved his way. Mueller's entries are laced with guilt: the boy's a machine, but at what cost? He'll bury anyone to climb. He mentions specific rivals who fell after Arnold's tips, their careers derailed by sudden arrests or scandals. The crew, led by investigative journalist Sarah Klein, knows they've hit dynamite. This isn't just about Arnold's rise, it's about a system that rewarded betrayal and crushed the competition. Let's rewind to Arnold's story, because context is everything. In 1968, he's a 21-year-old Austrian kid, already a Mr. Universe with a chiseled physique and a grin that could sell sand in a desert. By 1975, he's dominating bodybuilding, winning Mr. Olympia titles like they're candy. By 1984, he's Conan, then the Terminator, a Hollywood juggernaut hobnobbing with Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush. By 2003, he's California's governor, a political heavyweight. It's a meteoric rise, the stuff of legend, immigrant kid to global icon. But Mueller's diaries suggest it wasn't just hard work and charisma. According to the trainer, Arnold's intel helped Austrian and US authorities dismantle a network of mobbed-up athletes, clearing his path to the top. Rivals faced inexplicable setbacks, visa denials, drug busts, media hit pieces, that now look suspiciously convenient. Take Lou Ferrigno, the bodybuilder who became the Hulk. In the 70s, he was Arnold's biggest rival, a towering New Yorker with star potential. But just as Ferrigno's career was heating up, he got slammed with a doping scandal that cost him sponsors and roles. He never caught up. Then there's Franco Columbu, Arnold's loyal friend, who stayed in his orbit and thrived. Coincidence or calculation? The darkest case is Klaus Werner, a German bodybuilder who was disqualified from the 1974 Mr. Europe contest after an anonymous tip about steroid use. Shamed and broke, Werner spiraled into depression and died by suicide in 1975. Mueller's diary doesn't name Werner directly but references a German kid whose fall haunts me. Sarah Klein connects the dots, and the picture's grim. Sarah's a bulldog of a journalist, 38, with a podcast, Uncovered Truths, that's exposed everything from corporate fraud to political cover-ups. She dives into Mueller's claims like a bloodhound, cross-referencing them with old police reports, bodybuilding magazines, and microfiche from Vienna archives. She finds patterns. Arnold's competitors often crashed just when they posed a threat. A 1973 Mr. Olympia contender, Sergio Oliva, was hit with a mysterious tax audit that forced him out of the sport. Another, Dave Draper, faced a smear campaign labeling him a drug addict right before a major film audition. Posts from vintage bodybuilding forums, unearthed by Sarah's team, show fans even then whispering about foul play. Arnie's untouchable. Someone's got his back. Sarah's research takes her to retired cops, former promoters, and gym rats who knew the scene. Most are cagey, but a few talk off record. A Viennese detective hints at a special informant who helped bust a drug ring tied to bodybuilders in the late 60s. A US FBI veteran confirms the agency was sniffing around the sport in the 70s, using insiders to track mob money. Neither names Arnold, but their raised eyebrows say plenty. Sarah's big break comes from a faded Polaroid, found in Mueller's trunk, showing a 21-year-old Arnold shaking hands with Karl Gruber, an Austrian politico with known US embassy ties. The photo's timestamp, 1968, months before Arnold's visa approval. It's not a smoking gun, but it's close enough to make ex-users lose their minds when Sarah posts it. The documentary, tentatively titled Iron Shadows, starts taking shape, but the crew hits turbulence. Key sources ghost them, citing family issues or legal advice. A Vienna gym owner who promised documents claims his office was ransacked. Sarah's own apartment is broken into, laptop untouched, but her notes on Arnold are tossed like confetti. She starts getting anonymous texts, drop it or regret it. Unfazed, she doubles down, convincing her crew to confront Arnold at a rare public event, a fitness expo in Los Angeles, where he's set to give a keynote. But days before, Sarah vanishes. Her last post, sent at 2 a.m., reads, "The truth's bigger than I thought. If I disappear, don't stop asking why." Her phone's dead, her car's parked at home, and her team's in panic mode. Arnold, meanwhile, is cracking under pressure. At the expo, he's a mess, puffy eyes, shaky hands, barking at aides. He's tripled his security, with ex-Navy SEAL types scanning the crowd. Ex-users clock it, posting side-by-side clips of classic Arnie, confident, quippy, versus 2025 Arnie, paranoid, rattled. Something's eating him, one post reads, with 150,000 likes. His team's in damage control mode, canceling interviews and issuing vague statements about focusing on charity. But the documentary crew, now led by Sarah's deputy, Mark Torres, goes for broke. They leak Mueller's diary excerpts to major outlets, CNN, BBC, even ex-influencers with millions of followers. The story detonates. Headlines scream, Schwarzenegger's dark secret exposed, and was Arnie a snitch? Hashtags like #IronMask, #ArnieBetrayed, and #Schwarzenegger scandal trend globally, with 50 million posts in a week. Public reaction is a battlefield. Arnold's fanbase, tens of millions strong, rallies hard. He's a hero, not a traitor, one post declares, with 80,000 retweets. They cite his philanthropy, his immigrant hustle, his charm in films like True Lies. Bodybuilding diehards flood X with old photos of Arnie lifting 500 pounds, captioned, "This man earned it." But doubters are louder. Old interviews resurface, like a 1985 clip where Arnold smirks, "You don't win by playing nice." Another, from 1990, has him boasting, "I always knew how to get ahead of the pack." In context, it's damning. Ex-users dig up obscure Reddit threads from the 2000s, where gym bros speculated about Arnold sabotaging rivals. Even Lou Ferrigno, now in his 70s, fuels the fire with a cryptic post, "The past isn't what you think." Arnold played chess, we played checkers. It gets 200,000 likes. The bodybuilding world's buzzing. Veterans like Mike Mentzer's brother, Ray, call the allegations overblown, but admit the sport was dirty as hell. Others, like a retired judge from Mr. Olympia, hint at fixed outcomes in the 70s. X posts from fans unearth grainy footage of Arnold's rivals looking dejected at contests, captioned, "Now it makes sense." The media's all in. CNN runs a special, "The Cost of Arnie's Crown," with experts dissecting mob ties in sports. Fox News counters with Schwarzenegger witch hunt, framing it as a liberal smear. Both miss the point. This is bigger than politics. It's about how far someone can go for power. The climax hits like a freight train. Arnold, pressured to respond, agrees to a live interview on MSNBC with anchor Rachel Lynn. She's a shark, armed with Mueller's diaries and Sarah's research. The setup's tense, Arnold in a dark suit, Rachel with a stack of papers. She starts easy, his career, his legacy, his fitness empire. Then she goes for the jugular. "Mr. Schwarzenegger, these diaries allege you traded secrets about your rivals, men like Lou Ferrigno, Klaus Werner, for a visa and Hollywood access. Werner's suicide is linked to a tip you may have given. So, let's be clear, how many lives did you ruin to become the Iron Arnold?" The camera zooms on Arnold's face. His eyes widen, his jaw clenches. For 7 seconds, an eternity on live TV, he's silent. Then, a stammer, "It's lies. Fabrication. I worked, I earned everything." His voice cracks. Rachel presses, "So you deny informing on anyone?" Arnold mutters, "No comment," and his team cuts the feed, citing connection issues. The clip's a wildfire, 15 million views in hours. X users go feral. "That silence said it all," one post screams, with 300,000 likes. The fallout's apocalyptic. Arnold vanishes from public view, his social media dormant. His PR team issues a furious denial, calling the diaries a hoax and vowing legal action. But the internet's merciless. Memes flood X, showing Arnold as a Terminator labeled traitor unit or dodging truth bombs. His brand's hemorrhaging. Nike pauses a sneaker deal, and Netflix shelves a docuseries. Protests erupt outside his Santa Monica gym, with signs reading, "Arnie, who did you sell out?" Police log threats against his team, but no arrests. Sarah's disappearance is the X factor. Some claim she's in witness protection, others fear she's gone for good. Her podcast drops a chilling episode, "The Price of Exposing Arnie," narrated by Mark. It hits 8 million downloads, with listeners demanding a federal probe. The truth's a maze. Mueller's diaries are compelling but lack corroboration, no official records, just his word. The 1968 photo's suggestive, but Gruber's dead, and no one's talking. Old FBI files, declassified in 2023, mention informants in bodybuilding but name no names. Sarah's still missing, though an ex-tip claims she's alive, hiding in Europe. Arnold's camp insists he's a victim of cancel culture, but his silence isn't helping. X data shows his approval rating tanking, down 30% among fans. Yet his core base holds firm, launching #StandWithArnie, with 1 million posts. This saga's more than Arnold. It's a window into fame's machinery, how ambition, power, and secrets collide. Bodybuilding was a dirty game, but so are Hollywood and politics. Arnold's story, true or not, exposes the deals that build legends and the bodies left behind. As X-users keep sleuthing, posting old gym logs, mob rumors, even AI-enhanced photos, the mystery deepens. The Iron Mask is cracking, and what's beneath might redefine a myth. One X post sums it up: Arnie didn't just lift weights. He lifted himself over everyone else. The Arnold Schwarzenegger scandal, already a global firestorm, is hurtling toward a climax that no one saw coming. It's June 2025, and the world's glued to X, where #IronMask and #ArnieExposed are racking up billions of views. The leaked diaries of Hans Mueller, alleging Arnold betrayed rivals for fame, have torn his legacy apart. Sarah Klein, the journalist who broke the story, is still missing, her haunting last X post, "If I disappear, don't stop asking why," fueling wild theories. Arnold's unraveling, dodging cameras and flubbing interviews, his silence louder than any denial. Now, as new evidence surfaces and a shocking confrontation looms, the saga's final act promises to rewrite history. This is the endgame of the Iron Mask mystery, and it's a roller coaster of truth, lies, and reckoning. The documentary crew, battered but relentless, is racing to finish Iron Shadows without Sarah. Mark Torres, her deputy, takes the helm, poring over her notes and Mueller's diaries. The team's under siege. Hackers crash their servers, leaking rough cuts online. Ex-users dissect the footage, spotting clues in every frame. But Mark's got an ace, a retired Austrian intelligence officer, Jürgen Holt, who agrees to talk. In a grainy Zoom call, Holt confirms Mueller's claims about a 1960s operation targeting mob-linked bodybuilders. There was a young athlete, Holt says, eyes steely. Ambitious, charismatic. He gave us names, we gave him a future. He won't say Arnold, but the implication's clear. The clip, posted to X, hits 20 million views in hours, with users screaming, "It's over for Arnie." Meanwhile, Arnold's camp is imploding. His inner circle, PR flaks, old gym buddies, starts cracking. A former aide, speaking anonymously to Vanity Fair, admits Arnold knew people in Vienna who made things happen. The aide claims no knowledge of betrayal but says, Arnold always played to win, no matter the cost. Ex-users pounce, cross-referencing the quote with Mueller's diaries. Then, a bombshell drops, a 1970 letter, found in a Vienna archive, from a U.S. embassy official to an Austrian contact, thanking them for our mutual friend's cooperation in a sensitive matter. The friend's initials? AS. It's not proof, but it's dynamite. The letter spreads like wildfire, with 50 million X posts under #ArnoldSmokingGun, public pressures crushing. Arnold's Santa Monica gym is vandalized, spray paint reading, "Snitch," on the walls. His Netflix deal's officially dead, and his charity foundation loses donors. X tracks his downfall in real time. His follower count drops by 2 million, and #BoycottArnie trends alongside #IronMask. Fans are split, diehards cling to his rags to riches myth, flooding X with clips of pumping iron and captions like, "Arnie's innocent." But skeptics dominate, sharing AI recreated deepfakes of Arnold confessing, mocking his silence. Lou Ferrigno, pressed for comment, snaps at a TMZ reporter, "Ask Arnold what happened in '74. I'm done protecting him." The clip's a sensation, with 10 million views. Sarah's disappearance is the wild card. Ex-sleuths forum finds Sarah groups analyzing her last movements. A blurry CCTV still, posted anonymously, shows a woman resembling her at a Berlin train station days after she vanished. The image sparks hope but no leads. Her podcast, Uncovered Truths, releases a final episode, The Iron Mask Falls, narrated by Mark. It's a gut punch. Sarah's voiceovers, mixed with Mueller's diary readings, lay out the case against Arnold. The episode hits 12 million downloads, with listeners demanding an FBI probe. X-posts speculate she's in hiding, possibly with whistleblower protection, but darker theories, kidnapping, worse, linger. Arnold's forced to act. His team books him on a live Fox News special, Arnold Speaks, billed as his chance to set the record straight. It's a high-stakes gamble, his first major appearance since the disastrous MSNBC interview where he froze under questioning. The host, Tom Carver, is a friendly face, but ex-users smell a setup. Fox is Arnie's safe space, but he can't dodge forever. The broadcast's a global event, trending with 100 million X posts before it airs. Arnold walks on set, visibly aged, gray stubble, tight jaw. Carver lobs softballs, his career, his philanthropy, his unfair critics. Arnold's rehearsed, sticking to lines about hard work and false accusations. But Carver, sensing the moment, goes rogue. "Let's address the diaries," he says, pulling out a printed page. "They claim you informed on rivals like Klaus Werner, who later died by suicide. True or false?" The studio's a vacuum. Arnold's eyes dart, sweat beads on his forehead. For 6 seconds, he's astounded.